Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we have a deeply concerning story coming from Japan that has raised questions about public safety, workplace conduct, and how society should deal with violations of personal space. In a bizarre and troubling incident, a city worker from Okayama, Japan, was arrested on the afternoon of February the 2nd for allegedly entering a high school girls' restroom without a legitimate reason. What happened? How did this happen? And what does it mean for the future of safety in schools and workplaces? Let's break down the details. The man, a 42-year-old employee of the Okayama City Welfare Office, was reportedly seen entering a restroom on the first floor of a high school in Okayama City's Naka district around 4:15 p.m. According to the police, the suspect had no apparent reason to be in the restroom and was discovered by a student who immediately reported the situation to school staff. Authorities arrived quickly on the scene, and the man was arrested on the spot for trespassing. The police have stated that the man has confessed to the crime, but they are continuing to investigate the motive behind his actions. The city of Okayama has issued a statement assuring the public that it will thoroughly investigate the incident and take appropriate action. Now, this is a highly disturbing event on multiple levels. The violation of privacy, particularly in a setting that's supposed to be safe like a school, is deeply unsettling. But what makes this case even more troubling is that the person involved was a government employee, a public official, no less. First, let's talk about the broader implications of this event. In any society, schools are meant to be places of safety for children and young adults. They're sanctuaries where students can focus on their education without fear of intrusion or harm. When incidents like this happen, it shakes the foundation of that trust. Parents send their children to school with the expectation that they will be safe, not just from physical harm but from invasions of privacy. To think that someone with a position of authority might be involved in such an act is downright alarming. The fact that this man worked for the city's welfare office makes this case even more complicated. Welfare office employees are supposed to be trusted members of the community, helping vulnerable people. To have someone in such a position allegedly engaging in such behavior calls into question the screening and oversight processes in place for government workers. How did he manage to slip through the cracks? And what kind of impact does this have on public trust? From a legal perspective, trespassing into a restroom is not just an invasion of privacy but a potential precursor to more dangerous behavior. What started as a simple violation could easily have escalated into something far worse. Fortunately, the young woman involved noticed him and was able to alert staff before things escalated. But it begs the question, how many times have similar incidents happened without anyone noticing? Now, let's dive into the different perspectives on this issue. On one side, we have the people who are shocked, angered, and seeking justice. They feel that this man's actions, particularly as a public servant, represent a betrayal of the trust placed in him. They argue that this is a serious violation of personal space, and that he should face severe consequences for his actions. On the other hand, there are those who caution against jumping to conclusions too quickly. They point out that the police have yet to fully determine the motive behind his actions, and we should reserve judgment until all the facts are in. Some may argue that while the violation of privacy is a serious offense, there may be underlying factors, such as mental health issues, that played a role in his decision-making process. However, even in such cases, there's no excusing his behavior, and it should be taken very seriously. Now, let's look at the larger picture. This incident is not an isolated one. In recent years, there have been multiple cases worldwide involving breaches of privacy in public spaces. Whether it's inappropriate surveillance, the invasion of personal space, or sexual harassment, these issues are becoming more prevalent as society becomes more aware of them. The question that arises from this case is, what can we do to ensure that our institutions, schools, workplaces, and public services remain safe for everyone? The first step is stronger screening processes for public employees. As seen in this case, the man involved was a city worker, and his position likely gave him a certain level of access and authority. This raises concerns about how much background checking and monitoring is done for public servants, especially those working in vulnerable areas like schools. It's essential that more rigorous checks are in place to prevent individuals who may pose a risk from entering these environments. Second, schools and workplaces must increase security and awareness about personal boundaries. Teachers and staff should be trained to handle situations where individuals might violate these boundaries, and there should be clearer protocols for reporting suspicious behavior. Schools are the places where young people should feel the safest, and it's essential that institutions invest in protective measures, whether that's through physical security, improved surveillance, or a clear, accessible reporting system for students. Lastly, this incident points to the need for a larger conversation about workplace ethics, especially for those in positions of power. We need to ask ourselves, what kind of moral accountability should public officials face? Is it enough for them to simply avoid criminal behavior? Or should there be a higher standard for those working in positions that involve trust, safety, and public service? Looking ahead, this case could lead to a stronger push for reform in public institutions, especially regarding how public servants are monitored and held accountable. It may also trigger a wider societal discussion about privacy rights and personal safety, especially in the context of new technology that's making it easier to invade privacy without detection. In conclusion, while this specific incident might seem like just a single case of trespassing, it raises broader questions about safety, trust, and the responsibilities of those in positions of power. This story is a stark reminder that breaches of privacy can have a far-reaching impact, and we need to be vigilant in protecting our communities, especially the most vulnerable among us. What do you think about this case? How should public institutions respond to incidents like this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the latest news stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.